Part 2 if she's always not home. I have hired a lawyer. We hash through the details tomorrow, though I do feel like I'm 10 steps behind already. He's good though. And it will not be cheap, but luckily. We have no kids and our assets are pretty cut and dried and accounts in our names, etc. I'm sure he'll tell me 10,000 other things that I have to worry about though. I need to catch up, that's why I can justify his rate. I remember she told me long ago regarding her first marriage, which ended when she was 22. That the woman has it planned out months in advance before the guy even starts to get any clue of what's going on. The exit strategy. The new boyfriend, the money, a car, a place to stay, her story for friends and family. Everything. He gets blindsided. Well, blindsiding is almost here. If my guy can get me papers to present her with first, she can stick it. Needless to say, I may have opened a PO box today, for all my future paychecks and business stuff to be routed to. I may also have opened a safe deposit box and may or may not have collected the last 5 years' tax returns, retirement account statements, passport info and car titles. I may have changed all the passwords on my credit card accounts and email accounts. I may have also gotten a new phone that's prepaid. I may be liquidating a few things into cash, and maybe I've begun selling crap online that we've been meaning to sell for a while anyway. If I did any of these things, oops. And can I really cancel her credit cards? There are 2 in both of our names, but we each have a few of our own. Seems a little cold, but interesting to know it may be an option. Just noticed today that she paid $500 to one of her cards out of our joint checking. Wonder what she needs that space on her card for. Work. Right now, I just can't wait for this to be over with though, because I think it's easy 1 second and then I think of my wife that once was. Not the whatever it is that is living in my house now. Sucks. Figuring out what to do is now a 24-hour job, and I have work to do that isn't getting done. Hope my well-recommended lawyer can take a huge load off my back tomorrow morning. I'm trying to prepare for all kinds of fantastical creations that she'll come up with to tell everyone about me and our relationship. Including me, I have to be prepared to just laugh. No one's relationship is perfect, but ours was pretty enviable. At least until a few months ago. She clearly may have felt different about that earlier though. Maybe 6 months. Maybe longer. Though we did reaffirm our vows a few days before 10-week trip, anniversary night planned by me, reproposed, dancing, dinner. Good loving, she happy cried and everything. So, she must have still dug me a little. The 10WK trip was the killer. Though I'm guessing other guy was trying to work his way in much earlier. On my way to lawyer in an hour, can't wait to get this out of my hands. Met with the lawyer. He seems perfect. He had good news, basically, since we have no kids, and our accounts are essentially split pretty clear. Our retirement accounts are fairly equal and in our own names, etc. That this should be the easiest divorce ever, at least on paper. He said there's really nothing she can go after. And vice versa, so. It sounds like the hardest part I'll have to deal with is how she reacts, what she says to me. About me, and generally all she can do is try to hurt my feelings. Already done. I've had time to start dealing with that for a while now, so at least it will be somewhat easier than being slapped in the face with this if I hadn't seen even this much coming at me. She can't hinder my business, and vice versa, of course. There's all the marital assets like TVs, artwork, furniture, tools and all that to deal with, but we'll just have to come up with something. I am filling out a detailed summary sheet to fax back to his office today, and he will have a paralegal prepare the initial papers, saving me money. And by Monday at noon I'll have an official summons and petition for dissolution of marriage in my hands, so. I'll be prepared with that at least. Still have a lot of soul searching to figure out how to best do the actual deed though. Another piece of good news, he thinks she and I might be able to work together to mutually dump the house without having to deal with a traditional sale. Deed in lieu of foreclosure. Anyone heard of this? So, that's where I'm at, calling the pie now to set things up for this weekend. Then I need to bury my head in work for the rest of the day. Every time I go over the conversation that is to come, it tends to want to go to the tearful goodbye end of things. Of course, she doesn't deserve that, but it sure pops up in my head. Whether or not it's right. Part of me still wants her to know I care that much and she effed it all up, but I can't imagine there would be a real point to that now. She knows that, she clearly just doesn't care, so I just have to strap on a pair and pretend I'm acting or something, not looking forward to it. I have decided to take steps to initiate divorce, but not because I want to. She may think that, and hopefully will. When I let her rip. But I only want to because I have no other choice to maintain my dignity if there is a physical affair. Emotional affair is huge on its own, but I would give her second chances aplenty if that were the case and if she really tried to work with me. I will not back down on this. As I made that clear before she left. And frankly, it's all I have to stand on, guys. Do I sound weak here? Can I assume that others would feel pretty similar when faced with this situation? Not holding on to some fantasy of tearful reconciliation, but given I don't know what the duck has happened to our life in the last few weeks, months. The only comfort I have is knowing I'm doing the right thing for me. The pie will give me that assurance that I'm correct, hopefully. There's always that 1% chance that she has concocted this mess to test me and see what I would do to be with her. Ladies, is this even humanly possible? But played the way it was, I don't think I can see past the lack of respect anyway. And I have to respond in kind, clearly. It's important to me to come out with the moral high ground, been cheated on once before. That I'm aware of, and I can't say I'd recommend pretending to be okay with it. It did me no good back in the day, either way. After 8 years of happy, I'm suddenly spinning, and some outside proof would at least give me some perspective in my decision. She's wasted plenty on this week to ignore her conscience. I will be spending less than half of what she did to get a fulfilled conscience on my decision. And it's my money just as much as it is hers. We both do just fine and have always shared every penny, hell. The lawyer is going to cost a few bucks too. But at least we both know it's a real situation then. We love to waste money together. Why would I stop that in the heaviest situation in our life? As for the house, we live in a no-fault state. Everything is split up, regardless of who did what. We bought the house together. Refinanced a few years later under her name. As I had just gone on my own and the bank required 2 years income proof if you're a freelancer. And my lawyer told me today that that is inconsequential. I'm still an original deed holder, so the house is ours. We have to unload it together. Loss or no. I do think giving her an explicit warning before she left after a long discussion that brought a lot of suspicions out in the open counts, not as if I found out about this and then sat and whined to myself about it while letting her go and not doing anything about it. The things I've found out since she left put it over the top, and since she's already gone, I can only work on what to do now. I did the right thing by speaking up. She agreed, but also lied at the same time. Should I have gone with her anyway, made her miserable by showing her I don't trust her, so I had to come with and follow her to work every day, hold her hand between places she went. Made her eat lunch and dinner with me every day. Escort her into the bathroom. And most likely she'd still find a way to meet the guy in a different place. Sure, those things would assert authority, but the kind of backwoods, jealous, controlling husband authority that women run from. Not authority coming from respect. I think once I let her know I was suspicious, laid out the clear reasons why I had justification to be suspicious, and told her exactly what it would mean if that were to happen. And she responded that of course she understood. And no worries. My cards were played, the ball was in her court. Her message was essentially, you have laid out before me plenty of reasons not to trust me, maybe you shouldn't, but I'm going to do this anyway and don't worry. Won't cross any lines. Trust me. Regarding his wife, crap, apparently, he is no longer married, paid to do a record search. Far as I can tell he's a free man, that one sticks me. Because I was at least looking forward to ruining his marriage and effing up his life in the same way he's doing to me. Sorry guys. I have no power play on him anymore, at least not in the same grand arena as I thought I did. I have hired an attorney, he will have my petition completed by Monday. We have no children and he thinks this should be an extremely simple case on both sides. Neither of us can really go after the other, except for incidentals. His main warning was to keep my cool. Perhaps record audio of the confrontation moment, because if I raise my voice even a little she could freak and then I'm slapped with a restraining order and kicked out of my house. Hell, even if I don't raise my voice even a little she could do all those things. I've also seen a therapist twice this week, first time for me. He has been very helpful in keeping my head on straight. As have many of the people posting their thoughts here. But at the moment this is the simplest and cheapest forum to continually express all sides of what I'm dealing with, and believe me, I'm thankful for the outlet. When I express insecurities, like only 1%, it doesn't mean that I'm a big wuss and don't deserve my wife because she needs a real man, or whatever. It means, of course, I can't go from confused about why our physical life and emotional connection got foggy 2 months ago, confronting her about what I saw and laying down a firm yet respectful ultimatum, finding all these new things out since she left, realizing how it's all over, and trying to wrap up all the details in my head in a matter of days, without some lingering doubts or lack of certainty creeping in. I am certain she has lost her respect for me. I am doubtful that I can block out 8 years of good memories entirely and be 100% businesslike in my head about this. But believe me, I'm trying, also. I have only had a couple friends who I can talk to about this right now, as I don't want to bring family into it, and most of my friends are our friends. And anything she hears about this I want to come from me. We talk on the phone when she's working, we usually text periodically and have at least a wrap-up before bed conversation on the phone. This trip. Not daily, she knows I'm pissed, I have every reason to not be calling for a casual chat. I usually let her call me unless I have something pressing to talk about, as her schedules are usually pretty varied when she's working. She's called me twice since that. I'll let her do the calling. I'm playing it casual and keeping conversations short and sweet. I want to be able to hand her the papers first. Don't think she can file for divorce there. We weren't married there. And it has to be done in our home state. That said, she could do just as I have done and fill out a dissolution summary form. Send it to her lawyer. Assuming she's planning to drop the bomb when she gets back, and already has a lawyer. And he could email her a petition exactly like the one my lawyer will have for me on Monday. Could be kind of funny actually, we both hand each other papers at the same time. Well, funny if it were a movie or something. Just talk to her. I told her I couldn't wait to see her, and that I booked tickets for tomorrow to go where she is. No, she's busy, but we can at least grab dinner or a few beers and spend the night together. She said she actually won't be there, so I should cancel the tickets. Hey, a bit of truth. I asked where she'll be. She then admitted to going to Party City tomorrow and says it's something her and some friends have been trying to put together for like a year. Finally found a chance to do it. To paraphrase, well, I got to ask, why didn't you tell me you were going there? Her, because I knew you wouldn't like it. Why not? I love Party City. Her, because I want to go have fun with my friends, and didn't want you to come along, since, again, we're not having a whole lot of fun right now. Well, that sucks. I can understand wanting to party it up with friends, but when I make big plans, you're always the first part of them. So you can understand why I'm not thrilled for you and your trip at the moment. We'd probably have a blast. Her, also, I knew you wouldn't like who's going, friend number 1 and other man. Well, got to tell you, you were right, I don't like it. I can't imagine I'd like it even if you had told me you were going in advance. But since you hid it from me and lied about it, it really doesn't leave me much else to think except the worst-case scenario here. So, you're going with friend number 1. The guy who you told me was thinking about flying to sleep with his ex a couple months ago, has a girlfriend in town. Another man, the guy that texts you constantly and obviously wants more from you than you either realize, or than you're telling me about. Nope, don't like it at all. Her, we're just friends, I just want to go have fun, hang by the pool and play some blackjack or whatever. It's not like I'm going to cheat on you or anything. I told you that the other day. Of course, I want to believe that, I love you, and I've always trusted you implicitly. I've always knows that no matter what happens, you have my back. I've never had one reason, ever, to doubt you for 1 second until all this weirdness came up recently, of course. I want to believe it's a friend's trip. But since you lied about this to me, you have to admit I'll be having a bit of trouble buying that right now. Her, you're right, it was stupid, sorry, I mean, what the duck, I'm lying to you about stuff. Don't know how to fix it, but I only did because I didn't want to hurt your feelings. I knew you'd think it was wrong and be mad at me. And I haven't been able to just relax in so long. Been on the road forever and it's always full with work, and the last couple times I've come home we're not having much fun and I don't fully relax. And then back on the road. Just want to hang with some friends and have fun for a couple days, then I'll be home and we can figure it out. I know it looks bad, but no worries. Sorry, it does look bad, and I don't think it's cool for you to just go and do this. Especially after me asking you not to for obvious reasons. You know that, you're putting yourself in a bad situation with this trip. I know you're a big girl and can take care of yourself. But why even go there? I don't want to tell you what to do, but I pretty much have 2 here, so I don't know how to fix something like this either. But it seems like the easiest way to start would be to come home. Because clearly this weekend is not going to do us any good, or, since I have the weekend free, I'd love to come out and tear it up with you guys. We always have fun in Party City. Pick one. Her, I'm going, sorry, I'd just rather it not be our trip, we've got that trip to X coming up. It's all good, I just really need this time, don't be mad, I got a meeting in a few minutes. Okay. Got to go, love you. Alright then. Emotions never got hot in the conversation. She didn't quiver or sound like she was nervous. Or cry or anything, neither did I. Really wish I had heard some nerves in her voice. And would love to have seen her body language. I had asked her about the lingerie last Friday the night before she left. Didn't feel the need to say it again. And I do have my answer. I kind of hope she freaks out and starts saying crazy crap when I hand her the papers. Like about how much better he is than me, and then I can smile. Look her in the eye and say, just want to thank you for making this decision so easy for me. Wish I could have closed on a stronger note, but the inflection in my voice was pretty clear. She knows what I meant. And since she already explicitly knows from last week that any physical affair is unacceptable, and a deal breaker, didn't feel the need to repeat, people don't forget something like that. And is the other man still married? Sadly, I discovered with a marriage records search this week that he's no longer married. That means I can't tear apart his life like he's done such a good job of doing to mine. Though he may have a girlfriend back home, I don't know, just not the same, and not worth my time without a broken vow on his end. Though just because he's not married doesn't mean that I can't figure out a great way to do just what you suggest. Got to plan that one out though. Certainly don't want to jump to something too soon and spoil the impact, and would want it to come off classy while stinging pretty good. For example, last night at a gas station I was talking with a buddy of mine about how best to get back at this guy. I just said, hey, let's ask him. Some random guy buying a Coke. I said, excuse me, say some guy moved in on your wife and she took the bait and ruined a marriage. What would you send him to get him back with style? He said, I'd send him a picture message of my ex, with "duck you" written on it with a Sharpie. I laughed my ass off. But that's probably not where I want to take this. Comments. Don't act out of anger, that may backfire. Do the things you need to do in a way that make the least emotional damage to you. And finally, do things with integrity as a man with a strong spine. I would like to respectfully kick your bee and I hope to wake you up. Please get angry and see what she does to you. You focus on her and what she does to you, not on yourself. Why not make a quick, cold termination of the relationship and save you a lot of grief? Would you really want to see pics of her and another guy? The pie thing may be legally wise, but it will do you no good emotionally. I was a bit surprised by the development of the call and what you said, but from my perspective you were telling her loud and clear that she has the power and you were begging her to come home. It made me feel sorry for you because you were whining like a girl. I may be harsh, but why not telling her that you two need to have a serious conversation when she returns from the trip? And then hang up and shut off the phone until she returns home. She knows you suspect that she is cheating and she does not give a duck. Please stand up for yourself. You are letting her walk all over you as it is now. You are worth much more than the crap she put you through. You need to build yourself up from scratch and defining your own standards and limits for acceptable female behavior before you enter a new relationship. I think this will make you much stronger and better prepared for a far better relationship in the future. OP responds, worst weekend ever for trying to move out of my house. I am so behind on my work from being so preoccupied this week that I'm slammed today and tomorrow. Hopefully I can be done before Monday. Work is due that day, so I can have that whole day to do what I need to do. Guaranteed she won't be coming home on a morning flight. Expect her prob no earlier than 7 p.m. But then again, I wouldn't know, because she has not bothered to mention when she plans to come back, and she changed the PIN on her airline account login just the other day. Sneaky. Monday will be an insane day. Wonder if I should ask around for some Xanax. Plus, we have 2 dogs. I can have them stay with some friends of ours that usually sit for our dogs and vice versa. But the wife in that couple is a lifelong friend of hers. She will not take my pups. At least not both of them. I'll try to power through my work tonight and tomorrow and then lock down what I have to do. I can get most of my stuff moved to a storage locker at least, probably take half a day on Monday. I may have been more of a nice guy than I should at times in our marriage. Big deal. The fact that she looks at me that way right now has nothing to do with reality. She has checked out. Never been a problem until a few months ago. Being civil yet direct to my wife is not begging, giving her a clear chance to realize I know what's up and do not approve and there are lines that can't be uncrossed is not begging. I didn't say please don't do this without me. I'll feel so left out and you're hurting my feelings, don't you see? What will I do sit here thinking about you with those other guys? What if you sleep with one of them? You're all I have and I miss you so bad. I promise I'll make it a fun weekend if you come home or let me come with you. Please come home to me. That would be begging. I suppose I could have said, fine, but I won't be here when you get back. That would have been as direct and forceful as possible. But it also would have started an argument. And correct me if I'm wrong, but alpha behavior dictates to avoid and ignore arguments. An alpha state their case calmly and directly, and then walks away to let it sink in. And not saying I'm a born and bred alpha, I'd say most men have to learn to project alpha. Whether or not they naturally are inclined to, too little too late. Maybe, but at least I can go out feeling right about it. Trying here, doing best I can with cards this new doppelganger wife has thrown at me. But I get it if that's the way it comes off to you. Everyone is entitled to their opinion, just don't agree. And honestly don't care what she thinks of me anymore. Try to understand that, please. She has had her chance to show she respects my pair. She is supposed to be calling this evening. I will not answer or call back. I don't even know when she's planning to come home on Monday. If it even still is Monday. Don't think I'll be answering calls or texts on Monday when she's calling to fill me in on when to pick her up at the airport. Not going to happen. Remember that she's already been with this guy for the last week on her current job site and lied about it. Odds are this is not the first time, as she became distant 2 months ago now. My line was crossed. The line has always been clear. And I reiterated it before she left. What the hell do I care now if she meets 5 dudes at the same time this weekend? I mean, I wouldn't want to see it, but it's her life now. Not mine. What she did can't be undone, and what she does from here on out is her own business. Just got a text from my wife. I didn't go to Vegas, alone at hotel one more night. I'll book a flight home for some time tomorrow. Of course, I presume she's not alone at the hotel, as we've all been over. But why the sudden change? Lovers quarrel. Felt horrible and saw the light. Not sure how to respond. I guess I'll give her a call and see what she says. I called. She said she decided not to go because she was feeling kind of down. I asked why. She said something about her next job just fell through and that's where it gets weird. She got choked up. You don't feel like going out to party this weekend anymore. She said no, she just wanted to come home. She's been working and on the road so much, she's just feeling kind of lost. Meanwhile, I'm preparing a cool hard blast like wrong answer. I was expecting you to say you realized how disrespectful and wrong it was to plan to go to Vegas with a couple guys without telling me. And then lying about it, and you decided respecting your marriage and your husband was more important than some random dude, but I decided to let her talk. Because I had no idea where it was going and didn't want to close her down. Lost how? Because of the job. Her, starting to cry. I just feel like I don't have any self-worth anymore. Why would you feel that way because of a job? You get new offers every day, and you even quit your last one because it sucked. Her, I don't know, I just feel really down, and I want to come home. And you're there alone. Everyone else flew out. Her, yeah. At this point she starts talking to a waitress who asked her if she wanted the bill. To waitress, no, just close it out. I don't have any friends here anymore. Nope, they're all gone. Her, so yeah, I'm just feeling really awful for some reason and I want to come home and see you and the dogs. At this point she was having trouble talking. She was really crying. Tell me what's wrong. Her, I can't talk anymore right now, because I just start crying on a patio downtown, and feeling stupid. So I should go. Can I call you later? I'm up working, I'll be around. Then, for some reason I said, hey, life is good, right? Kicking myself for throwing anything positive out here. Would take it back if I could. Her, yes, you're right, nervous laugh. Life is good. I'll book a flight when I get back to the hotel and call you then. Okay, bye. So, I think we can all figure out what happened. She most likely did the deed, and is regretting it big time. Is it possible she waited until today? Even though other man was out there all weeks. Perhaps they messed around all week, and had a fight today, or he dumped her. Perhaps she realized what a crazy, hurtful woman she had been to me and doesn't know how to live with it now. Not the turn of events I had expected tonight. Please realize I hardly know what day it is from the whirlwind of crap that has been my last week, trying to stay sane. Hard to deal with things when the game keeps changing on me, but I guess the point is I need to keep my game from changing, because all that stuff happened. Never had to take on the waterworks from a WW before. Only a wayward girlfriend when I was like 20, not looking forward to it. If indeed she pulled her mutilated conscience out of the dumpster today, I know to expect it. When she calls later tonight, I won't answer. Of course, she wasn't crying over a contract. She just didn't know what to say last night, so she came up with something that was a bummer to blame it on for the time being. Well aware that her tears most likely have nothing to do with me, but without getting it from her I can't be sure. I can only assume the worst. And plan for it. He may have slept with someone else or told her thanks for the week, but he didn't want to see her again. Or she may have told him that she had to stop it, and he may have freaked out on her, etc. Or she may have just stepped out of the fog for a moment and realized how much she has effed up her life and mine and has no idea what she wants now and is freaking out. Either way, when she comes home today, I'll be prepared to sit her down stat. If she jumps in and starts spilling right away, I'll let her talk. If she doesn't, I'll tell her I know she's been cheating and that I was not going to be here when she got back from Vegas. That I'd seen an attorney, and that papers were being drawn up as we speak. I'll tell her that I don't know what difference it will make, but if she doesn't tell me everything, from the beginning, and make it the truth, I'm leaving. I'll make it clear to not tell me just the truth she thinks I may already know. Because I know plenty, and if she lies or denies what I already know to be true, the conversation will be over. And I'll be leaving and she can expect papers promptly. Then we'll see what she says. I won't be giving her a hug when she starts crying, or when she gets home for that matter. I won't be sitting next to her on the couch trying to comfort her as she talks. Rarely if ever call her by her first name. I've called her babe for so many years it's ingrained. I will call her by her first name only. I plan to be standing, and several feet from her. We'll try not to show any emotion whatsoever, and we'll try to project that I'm only there because she came home early and I haven't had a chance to move out yet. If she stonewalls me or lies, I will just put up my hand and walk away. And say I'll be leaving now, good luck with everything, and don't call me. The question is, if she comes clean and I'm satisfied that she has laid it all out on the table. Sure, I won't get it all, but where's the line? Do I go stay somewhere else anyway? Yes, it depends on the things she tells me, obviously. Hearing about physical affair from her mouth will be hard, and I may just want to tell her thanks for telling your side. But I can't stand to be in the same room with you right now. I'm going to stay somewhere else. Or I could ask her to go stay somewhere else. For how long? I don't know. I'll let you know. Or is there any scenario where anyone thinks I should stay in the house with her tonight after the confrontation? She could have the couch. What would most people need to hear and receive from a WS to justify not going nuclear? The hits just keep on coming. Looks like it's nuclear. Just saw in her email that last night she indeed did book a flight home for today. Then canceled it this morning at 6 a.m. and has rebooked to Vegas for today through Tuesday. I am so pissed off right now. She will call me to tell me this today. I will not answer or call back, except maybe to text her back, don't bother coming home on Tuesday. Have fun with your boyfriend. At least I can ruin her trip. Her new flight to Vegas leaves in 3 hours. Perhaps she plans to call me once she gets there. Should I send her a text before her flight leaves to say, don't bother coming home Tues, have fun with boyfriend? Or any better ideas? Or wait until tonight when she's arrived there? That might make more of an effect. Feel like I have to make this trip bad for her somehow. Guess she really doesn't think I have a pair. I'm done. Sorry for the possible reconciliation drama. Just thought she may have had a change of heart. Clearly boyfriend and she had fun. My comment, she is waiting for you to make a move, take action and get her out of here. I'm working on part 3, and I